Alright, what's up, guys? This is NinjaDeathStrike,
Gun Monkey 696.
we're back. We're gonna do the Dark Rush set review. I was trying to wait until we got the English card scans so we'd know exactly what's gonna be in the set, but seems like they're not gonna be out until right before the release, so we figured we'd go ahead and put this out here now. Alright, well, I guess let's get into it. And our first card is actually an interesting one. We've got Venusaur. What do you think about Venusaur?
Um, it's cool. It's not great though, because even as a bench sitter, it's got a forward trait cost, and its ability is not amazing. The ability, you choose one Pokemon card from your deck, show it to your opponent, put it in your hand, shuffle your deck afterwards. So it's like a Sunflora that can be used for every card, but at the same time, it's not really fantastic. The stage 2 with super hard trait cost, so I don't think it's going to get used a whole lot.
Yeah, stage 2. If the ability was on something like a stage 1, I think it'd be a lot better. But yes, like Sunflower is really good, but that's because it's a stage 1.
Yeah.
And even that has limited use just because there's only
Right,
so many
terrible.
Pokemon you need. Well, that, and like there's only so many Pokemon you usually need to get during a match anyhow. After a
Yeah.
couple of turns, it's just kind of dead weight on your bench.
And
Um,
like for that, we have items, which is why Dark Patch is going to be so great. You can use items to energy accelerate,
yeah,
but we've got items to search for every poke we need anyway. So Dark Patch only works for darkness types now, and so energy acceleration. So
yeah. I don't think it'll be great, but hey, I like Venusaur, so nice to see him again. At least he's not terrible. He's not like Aggron bad, so that's nice.
he doesn't look as good as Aggron.
No, no, but I guess he can't have everything. All
Yeah.
right. Next, let's see. Carnivine has an interesting first attack. He's kind of just an improved version of the one we already have now, actually. Um,
Yeah, it's alright, but it's not fantastic.
if Vileplume was still big, it might find some play. But since Vileplume's dead, or all but
It's
dead,
like
yeah,
it's like Bellsprout, but a little bit better.
yeah,
But at the same time, that was only used to counter Train Lock, which is pretty much extinct. So
yep. So pass. Carabla. I guess the next one would be Excelgor. Very cool
um,
picture.
sorry.
That's a very cool picture. I like the card art a lot.
Yeah, it's cool. Um, oh, it's not very good.
No, it's not. The one we have now is way better.
Yeah,
Um, the second attack is kind of cool, I guess. The opponent's Pokemon is now poisoned and paralyzed. Return this card and all cards attached to it to your deck and shuffle. So I don't know. That's neat. Could work
yeah.
for like some kind of gimmicky deck.
If you can keep getting them out consistently, I
Yeah,
guess it could do alright.
could see maybe with Sunflora might
Yeah,
work okay. But yeah, Excelgor always, well, both of his cards just seem like they're decent, but nothing special. So
which is the majority of grass cards. Well,
yeah,
any playable grass cards, they're
yeah,
alright, but we don't have any really amazing grass cards.
yeah. So
Uh,
and I guess the theme for all these card arts is that one cave in black and white. I forget what it's called, like
Twist,
Twist.
Twist Mountain. Yeah.
Yeah, Twist Mountain. So all right, next. Oh, hey, evolutions are back, and they're still bad. Flareon, anything we need to say about it?
um, nah, not really.
All
It's
right,
just like Kyurem, except not Kyurem, sorry, Reshiram, except way, way worse. So,
it's actually like it's almost exactly the same as the Flareon we have now.
yeah.
Pretty close. So, all right. Well, then here's our first EX. We got Entei EX. What are your thoughts on him?
His first attack, 30 damage, and the opponent's active is burned. For 2 energy, it's alright. At the same time, having that sort of an attack on an EX kind of defeats the purpose of risking the 2 prizes. So
Yeah,
it's going to be just like the something claw on the on Reshiram and Zekrom. and then second attack does 90 damage, and you choose one fire card from your discard pile and attach it to one of your bench Pokemon. It's alright. 90 damage isn't great, but being able to energy accelerate could help, I guess. I don't like it. I think I'd probably prefer to run Reshiram if you're trying to make a fire deck, but it's alright.
Yeah, I think this is possibly the worst EX card we've gotten. Well, the thing is, we haven't gotten Groudon and Kyurem yet. They were actually in the old sets, so I'm assuming they'll be included in this one. We might have to go back and look at those after we finish this. But yeah, I don't think Entei is that good. There's just nothing really to set him apart.
Yeah.
There's no niche for him. On top of that, he's got 3 retreat. So yeah, I don't see him going anywhere.
It just doesn't do enough damage to bother justifying the two prizes you're risking.
Yeah.
Not good enough.
All right. Then next up we have Blaziken.
I like its second attack, 130, and then you discard an energy. Would have been really nice last format when 130, 1-hit KO'd Reshiram, Kyurem, and Zekrom, but at the moment it's stage 2, and 130 still doesn't KO EXs, so if you do manage to get him set up, you won't be able to 1-hit KO basic, and then they'll 1-hit KO you next turn, which will just set you back a ton, so it's not great.
Yeah, Reshiram is just better.
Yep.
You only sacrifice 10 damage and 10 hit points, but it's on a basic. So, yeah, this card would have been tier 1 had it been around before the EXs were released, but now it's just going to be mitigated to the sidelines like every other stage 2, which is really a shame. Cool picture, but yeah, another good card that no one's going to use.
Yep.
All right, Heatmore. We need to talk about Heatmore just for his first attack.
Bye, Durant.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, Durant's already weaker than it was, and then this set's just going to kill it. Heatmore, just a one-of tech that beats Durant.
Yeah. It's like if I was still trying to run that Chandelure Barplume deck I ran before Next Smith was released, if you could tech this in, that's pretty much the only deck I had a lot of trouble against was Durant. It's like, oh, this deck really struggles against Durant. Let's just tech in Heatmore.
Yep.
Or you have an automatic win against every single Durant deck you come up against, which will mean that no one plays Durant anymore. So.
Yeah. I think like this card probably isn't even going to be needed because everyone's going to stop playing Durant. But if it sticks around, I would expect this guy to show up as a one-of in decks that struggle against Durant.
I'm just curious if anyone's going to be like, well, no one will run Durant because Heatmore's released, which means no one will run Heatmore, so maybe I should start running Durant.
I think the thing is, though, that Darkrai kills Durant, too, so
yeah,
people are definitely going to run that. And then when your opponent's side of the field just has free retreat, that Durant's dead. That's basically game over. So, like, you know, Darkrai's going to do enough, and then if he wasn't bad enough, Heatmore's just like, no, you stay down.
Which I think's alright.
I'm not going to miss Durant.
Durant a lot.
But, okay. Next, we have Volcarona.
I think Volcarona is really cool. I really like it a lot. I don't think it's going to be tier 1, but I like it. I think it's cool.
Yeah. I just really like Volcarona as a Pokemon. I think it's really cool looking. So I wish we had a good version of it. This one's at least better than the other one we have. I think they pair well together. Doesn't the other one have an attack that automatically burns?
I'm not sure. The first thing I thought about when I saw this card was Houndoom Prime.
Yeah, that too. But actually it looks like he can burn on his own, so he probably doesn't even need the support.
Yeah.
I mean, cool card. His ability, Burning Scales. As long as this Pokemon is in play, the number of damage counters placed on your opponent's bench Pokemon between turns is now 4, so it doubles burn damage, which is cool. It's good against heavy EXs if they're still seeing play. Yeah.
So, yeah. At least it's not a stage 2, and its ability
Yeah.
is good.
Yeah.
So I could definitely see it having some play, but it's not going to be amazing.
Yeah. It won't be in any of the top decks, but I think it'll be a fun card to mess around with. Uh, on the other hand, we have we have Slowbro.
I keep thinking of all of do make fun of last episode. That's something that put it to sleep.
Yeah. Just apparently they just hate Slowbro. All right, so sorry that started to break up. My internet's being a little slow, so I'll try to pause things if Sam starts to break up. Anyhow, why don't you go ahead and tell us what you were talking about and how awesome
Like,
Slowbro is?
okay, so Slowbro's ability, Sky High, which is a little bit of a hint to how it also always looks like it's always on drugs and just like completely dopey. It can't attack when your opponent has when 6 for 2 prize cards remaining, which is pretty much half the time. And with EXs, if you can't manage to take out one perk, it can never attack. And then its attack for 2 energy does 80, and then it falls asleep.
Yeah, just like Barbarol from the Dragon
Yeah,
set. He has the same attack. Like, all right,
like
I'm done now. Nap time.
I attacked when you had like when I attacked half the time. Now my turn to sleep while your opponent
Yeah.
takes another prize.
Like, it's not bad enough that he only attacks half the time. Like, that's still too much work for him. He needs to take a nap, even in between those attacks.
The worst thing is it's gonna attack and then sleep while your opponent kills it, and then next turn it won't be able to attack again.
Yeah, even if it does survive. And it's got 3 retreat costs, just in case. So it's not going
And a
anywhere.
weakness.
Yeah. I love the picture, though. Love the
Yeah.
picture. The quintessential slowpoke.
Just like eating its hand.
Yeah.
Like,
Okay. Next, we have Vaporeon.
it's like just like the Flareon. It's almost the same as
Yeah,
what we have now.
it's exactly the same, almost. So maybe it got a little bit more HP, but other than
Yeah.
that, nothing. Okay, and now we have Empoleon, which I think is a really cool card. What do you think about it?
I like the fact that it doesn't have a super high retreat. They seem to always something that's like somehow linked to steel has a super high retreat, but
Yeah.
its ability, you choose one card from your hand and discard it, then draw 2 cards, which is really cool. Allows you to get things that you have in your hand which you don't need anymore just out of there, and then you can draw things that hopefully will be useful. But it's a stage 2, which means it has to evolve, and honestly, anything at the moment that's a stage 2 and it's a bench sitter doesn't really look like it's going to be able to be used a whole lot.
I don't think this thing has to be bench sitter though. Its attack is really good too.
Is it?
It's just like
Does
jump
10?
bluffs.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
mass attack. Yeah.
It's good. At the same time, well, actually, yeah, I like it, but it's a stage 2.
I think of all the stage 2s in the set, this one has the most potential to have a competitively viable deck. Almost the same thing with the Ninetail Chandelure deck right now.
It just does it by itself.
Yeah, but it's nice that you don't need the bench sitter, but then it's also a stage 2, so like Magnezone, you have to get the first one into play before you really get that. But I like the fact that it's got its own built-in draw support and a usable attack and a solid amount of hit points. Lightning
I don't really
weakness.
notice its attack too much, but yeah.
Yeah, lightning weakness is certainly not doing it any favors, but I think if there's any playable stage 2 that comes out of the set, this is going to be it.
Yeah.
It's just a really solid all-around card, and definitely one I'll look to figure out how to make work. So,
Definitely looks cool.
all right. Let's see. Swanna. Does Swanna do anything fun? Healing Dance. Too slow.
No.
No. Kind of that attack is the same as Dodrio's, I think, but
Is it?
a little bit stronger. But yeah, it's bad.
Yep.
So I think we can skip him. Okay, back. Sorry again. So Jolteon, kind of interesting. At least he got a new attack that the one we have now doesn't have.
Yeah. I like its first attack. It's good, but I think it'd be much better if it was on a basic. As stands now, doing 60 for one's really good, and you discard that lightning, which if you're using eels will not be missed, but at the same time, I think it's the standard Raichu does, I think, 100, and you discard 2, which is just a lot better in my opinion,
Yeah,
and also has free retreat, so
yeah. Raichu's a lot better. But Jolteon will work in Eel decks decently for people that don't have cards.
yeah,
Um, at least he got something new, which is not something Flareon and Vaporeon can say. But
yeah,
anyhow, moving on. Raikou EX. This is going to be a major player, I think.
definitely. Okay, so its second attack, Voltage Arrow, for 2 lightning and a colorless, you discard all energy attached to this Pokemon and do 100 to one of your opponent's Pokemon, which is going to be awesome for the Eels matchup. You probably won't see as many Eels mirrors once this is released. At the moment, it's pretty much all you see, with occasional Celebi and Terrakion and Duran, but for the most part, there's a whole lot of Zekrom Eels matchups. So if you're playing this in the Zekrom Eels matchup, you'll be able to do 100, which will take out your Eel on the bench, which can really help you out. And just being able to do 100 on the bench in general is really going to help you out.
Yeah, I think like this card goes so great in the Eels matchups that if the Eels stay popular, which I think they probably will, because it's still going to be the best Pokemon Energy Accelerator in the game, it's really just going to be a race to Raikou. Like, whoever gets Raikou up first wins that match. So it's going to make the Eels Mirror really silly.
Yeah,
But it's a really strong card. One retreat, so it retreats for free under Sky Arrow, which is really cool. And then, yeah, being able to snipe for 100. I think Blastoise is the only thing that can snipe for that much damage right now. Maybe Suicune Entei Legend, I think, can too, but
yeah,
Raikou is just way easier to get into play than either of those things. And yeah, just completely flips the Eel's Mirror on its head. Not to mention, like, taking out everything else. It kills Celebi too without needing a catcher. Just it targets down bench sitters and just cripples decks. So I think it's going to be really good. I think some Eels decks might go with a really heavy line of these guys and just go for the sniping more than the other attacks. So
yeah. 100 for 3 is not terrible, especially when you have energy acceleration in general. It's just not horrible, and the fact that you can then do it on the bench, so you can take out whatever you need to take out.
yeah,
It's really going to be helpful, and I mean that catch is not as you don't need to have the catcher in your hand at that point because you can still hit the bench if there's something that's threatening.
yeah,
Ooh.
yeah. Just really, really good card. So I would expect to see quite a bit of him. Do we need to talk about Plusle and Minim at all?
Minim's first attack, you do 10 to all your opponent's bench. It's cool, but it's not amazing, so not
Yeah.
really.
All right. And I think Plusle lets you draw like 8 cards if you have Minim on your bench, but then you have to play Minim. So,
Yeah.
okay, skip. Galvantula. Let's see. Nope, terrible.
Pretty much. Yeah.
Okay, we got new Dynamo. So let's take a look at him real quick. Do you see any reason to play this over one of the 2 that we already have?
No, it's terrible compared to both of them.
Yep, I agree. You don't want energy on your Dynamo.
I was like, no, it's terrible. It's 100% worse than the Dynamos we got at the moment. The HP has for retreat, which is the thing that's got going for it, and the Dynamo this one would have to compete with the 40 Dynamo and Paris, whereas the Dynamo has a chance to get one in your to this Dynamo, and the reason would want it be attached to one retreat. No, I don't
you broke up some there, so I'll try to translate. I think what you said is the other two are better. The 30 HP one has free retreat, and then the 40 HP one that this would compete with just has a better attack in general. There's no need to attach energy to Dynamo since you're never going to be attacking with it. Is that
Yep.
okay? Electric, nope, doesn't have dynamotor, so don't care about that.
Oh, really? I was gonna make a bet around this one. I was like, yeah, 80 for 3. It's awesome.
Yeah. Uh, Electros, reason to play him.
Um, no, there's no real reason to play a stage 2 that's not amazing.
Yeah.
I just can't see it being played at all.
If maybe if that last attack like dragged them up and confused them or something, he might be okay. But yeah, Electric's still better.
Yep.
Another cool picture though. He looks pretty
Yeah.
badass there.
He
Getting ready
does.
to wreak some havoc. All right, next Espeon. Espeon got changed some from the one we have currently.
Yeah, it's cool. Its ability's good, but there's not a whole lot of effects going around that really need protecting from.
Yeah, the only deck I can think of is Vanillux, really, that relies on status.
Yeah.
Status decks just need, like, they need Vileplume, and that Vileplume's just not cutting it anymore. So, another card that would have been good a couple sets ago, but not now.
Yep.
Slowking, better than Slowbro? Let's see. Well, it can attack more. That's good.
Yeah, it's not
It's,
fantastic at
it's
all.
still bad.
Yeah, it can't even do 80 for 3 consistently.
Yeah.
No.
Okay, Swoobat. No, I think that that might just actually be a reprint of the one we have now. I don't even know.
Yeah, I wouldn't know.
Okay, next. We got another Kofagrigus. It's terrible.
Yeah,
Wow, Psychic got shafted this time.
did.
It's like, well, we gave you Mewtwo last time, so this time you get the worst of the cards.
Well, none of them are going to be played with the dark, the
Yeah.
dark deck coming out, so
Um,
there's no need to make them reasonably playable.
The other Kofagriguses are better, though, if you did want to
Yep.
play them. Okay, well, that does it for Psychic. That was a whole, 30 seconds of the Psychic group. Next, we have Aerodactyl. Aerodactyl is a new fossil card who has a very interesting ability.
Yeah, the fossils are definitely much more playable now that we're getting Twist Mountain, which we'll get to in a little bit. Its first attack is kind of like, what was it, Altaria,
Yeah,
except you only do 10 and it's any Pokemon, which
Yep.
is cool. It's like in plus power going on all the time. However, 10's not amazing, and having to try and get the fossil to set it up, there's no real need to play it. It's cool, but it's not really going to be, not going to find a decent enough play.
yeah. Really, the only deck I see this working in would be with Caracosta. Like, and not as a competitive deck, but if you want to play fossils, you really have to commit to the stadium that goes with them if you want to get them out reliably at all. So,
Yeah.
I mean, good for Caracosta, but no one is gonna play that deck anyhow. So, yeah, a cool ability that's just too much trouble to get going. So,
If it was just a standard basic, could be cool.
yeah.
But as it is now.
Even if it was a stage 1, it might be okay. Like if it evolved from fossils the way they used to, where you could put the fossil down on your bench,
Yeah.
it might be okay then. But the new fossil method makes it too awkward to get out. All right, next Excadrill, who's actually like one of the pack covers for the English packs, oddly enough.
Yeah. It's not good.
Yeah.
I like his first attack, second attack, sorry. It's cool. You get a card back, but no, it's nothing amazing.
Yeah. The resist lightning. That's cool. 120 hit points. That's good for stage one. But yeah, can't really like being. If you're gonna be a fighting card, you have to one hit KO lightning things, and he doesn't. So
It's like, oh, let's run a stage one fighting. Oh wait, we've got Unfan. So,
yeah.
why would you want to run him?
Next, Umbreon, my favorite. I wish he was
Um,
better.
and then it's cool. It's not fantastic, I don't think, but I like it. I think it's all right. Yeah, it's just cool.
Yeah. Obviously it's dark type, so paired with Darkrai, it gets better just because of its typing. It automatically gains access to energy acceleration via trainer cards and free retreat via Darkrai. So that makes it better, but still not that great. Yeah, just kind of ho hum card.
The secondary effect on its second attack, I don't understand the need for it.
Yeah, me
Like,
either.
it's not one.
I mean, they could at least make it only cost 2 energy if they want to give it that effect.
Exactly.
But yeah, whatever. Sableye.
Um,
No.
I like its second attack,
Yeah,
even though I think it's cool, and a lot of people will try and make it work because it definitely could be really useful, but it's going to be too much trouble to try and. If it was an ability and maybe just got you back one trainer,
yeah,
it'd be awesome to be used with Sky Bridge or just Darkrai EX in general.
yeah.
But
Like the fact that it's an attack just makes it too slow. So the second attack is Junk Hand. It says choose 2 trainer cards from your discard pile, show them to your opponent, and put them into your hand. So obviously that's really cool. It's like double Junk Arm without needing to discard. But yeah, making it an attack just makes it way too slow.
I like the idea of it, and I think it'd be really cool as an ability. But as an attack, it's way too slow.
Yeah,
And at the moment, you don't want to have to waste turns attacking just to set up.
yeah. Like if it either came into effect when you put it into play, or like if it had to be active and you could only get one, I think either of those would make it playable as an ability. But as yeah, just too slow as an attack.
Yep.
And next up, here is the man himself, Darkrai EX, the kind of title card for the whole set,
Yeah.
and
It's awesome.
he's pretty damn good. Yeah,
Its first attack, Darkness, its first ability, sorry, Darkness Cloak. As long as this Pokemon is in play, all your Pokemon that have Darkness energy on them have no retreat cost. And then its attack, for 2 Darkness and a colorless, you do 90 and 30 to, I think, one of your opponent's bench.
yeah,
So this means that, firstly, that 90 and then 30 to your opponent's bench means that it's going to be awesome against Durant and its ability. Nothing is retreat, so that's why we're talking about this being another card that kills Durant. But in general, it's just a really, really good ability. Its attack is good. It's not amazing, but its attack's alright. But its ability is just going to be awesome with all the Darkness decks popping up. I think that the fact that Terrakion handles 2 of the most common types will be 2 of the most common types once Darkness, all these all these dark type pokes and items are released to help them. That's going to make it a very played type. So the fact that Terrakion can easily deal with them is going to be really helpful. And then if you have a Darkness energy attached to Terrakion, it now has no retreat cost, which means that probably the worst part about Terrakion just got taken out. So I think
yeah,
it's going to be awesome.
yeah. I think this card is just so good. And the thing I really like about Darkrai is that, unlike Mewtwo, it's not super broken. Like it's just a
Yeah.
really solid contribution to the game. That's good without being too good.
Rayquaza.
Yeah. Just great ability. If I'm not mistaken, there was an old Darkrai EX that had this exact ability. It was either Darkrai EX or Darkrai Level X. I don't remember which one, but it was almost the same. And I had a deck with that, like just a fun deck back in the day, and it's just so good. Like oh, for retreat, now you retreat for free. And
Yeah,
everything has an attack that takes at least one colorless energy, so now it's dark energy and you retreat for free. And then like that on top of the fact that dark types got energy acceleration just makes makes Darkrai really good. It's I think it's going to be a very techable deck where it's just Darkrai and then stuff. Uh, Whatever stuff you want to play, you just build the deck to beat whatever's popular, and it works because Darkrai's in it. So I think this is going to be a really good card.
yeah. I definitely like how it combos with Terrakion though. I think Terrakion's going to be, it was played a lot now, but I think that almost every dark deck is going to have a Terrakion in it just because Terrakion's so easily put in these decks now that it has fruit trait.
Yep, and
If you can fit it.
you could even fit. You've got more room for trainers because you don't need Sky Arrow in the Darkrai deck, so you can play either counter Stadium or more trainers, which is cool. Yep, lots of potential.
Yep.
So I can't wait to see what people come up with this card. Okay, and now we have Crocodile. Pretty cool card, I think, other than it being a stage 2. So, Crocodile, what do you think?
I think it's got its attack is awesome. At the same time, though, just the energy cost for its attack and the fact that it's a stage 2 mean that its attack, I mean that it's not going to be very playable. Its attack is kind of like Shaman. It does 40 damage times the amount of prizes you've taken, which is a little bit like Shaman, except a tiny bit better. So if this was on something like Darkrai, except scaled back a little bit, or just a basic in general, definitely really good. But it's a stage 2, and it's even more requires even more energy than Shaman. So it's
Yeah,
a worse version of Shaman.
um, I think Dark Strength is in its really strong stage 1s, like Zoroark and all the other things I can't remember right now.
Bishop and Mandibuzz.
Yeah, those guys too. I feel like there's a really big one I'm forgetting, but anyhow, yeah. So that like stage 1 rush, I think is going to be dark typed, and there's if you do want to play a stage 2 dark, Hydreigon is better.
Yeah.
But Crocodiles, I mean, it's a cool card, but I think it just gets overshadowed by pretty much every other dark type we have. So,
Exactly.
all right. And next we have the new Zoroark, who's really good.
Yeah. I guess its first attack for 2 colorless does 20 times the amount of darkness Pokemon you have, and then its second attack for 2 dark does 20 times the amount of damage counters on it. So it's only got a 100 HP, which means that second attack won't be as useful, but its first attack for just 2 colorless energy, you can do 120 pretty easily if you have a full bench, which is not too hard to get. It's not too risky to have if you're playing Darkrai. So I think it's good. It's not Mewtwo level, but it's definitely a lot more playable than Slowbro.
Yeah, I think this guy will probably be one of the main attackers in the dark deck. At least the version that runs like dark type attackers instead of just teching in Darkrai to their other things. It's just really good. It's fast. It hits hard. It's like Cincino, only stronger. It's got more hit points. Although 100 actually kind of hurts it a little bit because it's not searchable by level ball.
Yeah.
But everything between kind of like the 90 and 130 range is just kind of in the same boat HP wise. They all get KO'd by the same things. So it might have actually been better off with 90 HP, but I still think it's a really good card. And yeah, the first attack will probably be the one that gets the most use. Dark Rush, the second attack, is cool, but you have to have 70 damage or more for it to do more damage than the first one would with a full bench. But both of the attacks are very usable, so that's nice. Can give you an option if you can't fill up your bench for whatever reason. Maybe you can use the second one. Yeah, good card. I really like the card art on this one. I don't know what he's doing. He's like stealing the moon or something. I don't know, but it's
I think the
cool.
moon's just in the background. I don't
But,
think
but
he's
he's
stealing
he's
it.
got like a piece of what's he holding though? What's in his
I think
hand?
it's rock or
It's
something.
it's a moon rock. Look,
Is
it's
it?
yellow. It's yellow, and the moon is yellow. Clearly, he just
I
like
think it's just supposed to show like the force of his attack.
no. He like
He's
ran
so-
by and he jumped to the moon and he like cut a piece of it off. And now he's running away with it.
Yeah.
Look, he's clearly in space. Like that's an asteroid floating underneath of him.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I like that.
stole the moon.
The moon.
Anyhow, Mandibuzz, that's the same one we have out now, so we don't need to talk about that. Same with, I
Yep.
think Escavalier is the same too, so we can skip those two. So that would be Kling Clang, one of only two steel types.
I like it, for return. Really energy cost and stage 2.
Yeah, not good. Let's see, his first attack. Nope. Yeah, just too big, too slow. Not a good type.
Yep.
Okay. Blissey?
The content restores the HP to your active Pokemon. Allows stability, but it's the brute trait data, which isn't terrible. It's 90 for free and then 60 to itself, which I don't allow that to do that much to itself. It almost half-airs itself.
Yeah.
I like it. It's cool. It'd be cool to have if the fifth was still viable, but as it stands, it's pretty terrible.
Yeah. Yeah, it's pretty bad. Even if the ability was not on a flip, that would make it immensely better.
Yeah.
But since it has a 50% chance to do nothing, and it's weak to Terrakion, and it's got 3 retreat, and it kills itself. So
Exactly.
yeah, that's enough nails in the coffin to keep Blissey permanently buried, I think. Okay, let's see. Stoutland. What does Stoutland do? Oh, all right. So you kind of cut off in the middle of Stoutland. What were you saying?
Okay, so Stoutland's second attack is good, and its first attack is actually really cool. It does 80 for 3, but at the same time, 80 for 3 isn't amazing. If it was a higher damage output, it'd be better attack. I like the idea that if the Pokemon has any special energy attached to them, it does more. But yeah, it does 40 and then an extra 40 if there's special. So it's not amazing. And then its second attack, 60, and during your opponent's next turn, if the active Pokemon is hit by an attack, it's reduced by 30. So
Yeah.
that's the equivalent, I guess, of like 90 for 4, which is bad. And then stage 2 with 3 retreat. I don't
Yeah.
even know why I'm talking about it so much. Such a card.
Yeah, it's like special thing. It's actually if you have special energy, so I guess it's designed to be used with a DCE
Oh,
to boost it.
okay.
But yeah, I mean, you said it. It's not good.
bad.
So,
But
Tornadus
that's just
EX.
the idea of what I was talking about.
Yeah. Tornadus EX though, really good.
Yep. Okay, so blow through 30 damage if there's the stadium in play. It does an extra 30. So, and then 100 and flip a coin for 3. It does 100, flip a coin, and if tails, discard 1 energy. So this is going to be the main attacker in CMT. I guess I don't know how much Mewtwo it's going to be running now that the dark deck's going to sprout up everywhere, but I think that this is going to replace pretty much both Tornadus and Mewtwo in CMT. There'll definitely be builds with both of them included, but someone could potentially just run 4 Selby, 3 Tornadus EX and do extremely well.
Yeah, the potential to hit 100 on turn 1 a very high percentage of the time is scary for anyone up against it. 110 with a plus power, so what's its name? Thunderous is no longer safe from the donk with this guy around. On top of that, Thunderous needs his own plus power to get a one-hit KO. So that makes him a little bit harder to use. Regular Zekrom is still going to be really good against this guy because he can OHKO it. But yeah, this is a really good card. I think this is the card that is going to keep Celebi alive as a deck.
Yep.
Once the next ones are out, I don't know if it'll stay tier 1 like it is now, but this is a really good card.
Yeah, like you said, the keeps Celebi alive. D2 is not going to play, and the team's going to take a place.
Okay, we got some of that. Trainers, Crash Hammer. It's a worst version of Lost Remover. It can only be removed from the active, and it goes to the discard pile instead of the Lost Zone.
I don't think. Yeah, it's just going to be much worse. I'm sure that if when they do rotate Lost Remover out, this will be used in its place. But until Lost Remover goes, it's not going to be used at all.
There's that card in the Dragon set too that does damage based on special energies. Drift Blim, I think.
Yeah, it was Drift Blim.
So like this pairs with him for whatever that's worth.
Yeah. It's going to be a gimmicky deck.
Yeah. Next, Dark Patch.
Terrible card. Not going to see any play whatsoever.
Yeah. Worst trainer ever. Who wants energy acceleration as a trainer?
But yeah, seriously, it's awesome. This and Darkness Claw are the things that is going to make these dark Pokemon so amazing. None of the dark Pokemon by themselves are like ridiculously good. Darkrai's good, and things like Zoroark are good, but the trainers that are being released with the set are what's going to make the dark type Pokemon as good as they are going to be. And the fact that this thing allows you to accelerate energy and not even have something sitting on the bench means it's just going to be awesome. You don't have to set anything up, and turn 1 you can, if you can manage to get that darkness energy in the discard pile, you can start attaching. So
yep. Yeah, just continuing the trend of ridiculously good trainer cards we've had in the last few sets. This one's a little more specific. At least it's not like Catcher, which is like, have fun. Here you go. But yeah, really, really good card, especially for dark types to threaten that turn 1 attack for potentially pretty big damage. Yeah, it's going to be great. And it's going to be the key to the dark box success. Next, Rare Candy. We know what it does. Which picture do you like better? This is the old one.
This one a lot better because I like green.
All right, we mentioned that last
Yeah,
episode.
I don't. They got cut off.
Yeah, I don't think it was on there. Oh, okay. Next, Old Amber. We know what it does. It's just like the other fossils, except it gets Aerodactyl. So I don't think we need to talk about that. Darkness Claw is the next one.
It's awesome. It's it's a Pokemon tool, so you attach it, and then this is attached to a Darkness type Pokemon. It does 20 damage to the active, 20 extra damage.
Yep. So negates a Violite for 1. And if you don't have a Violite, it's like double plus power for as long as the thing is alive. So yeah, really good. Not only that, with the set rotation, we're still going to have Special Dark Energy in the format for at least until this set, till the next set after this one is out. So you've got potential to stack with Dark Energy too to really boost damage numbers. It's going to be pushing Zoroark into the 150 range with a 1 Special Dark, and this thing, if you have a full bench, can go higher than that. So he has the potential to actually take out EXs without hitting for weakness.
Yeah.
That is scary.
I don't think it's going to be Zorak probably still won't be able to one hit carry EXs, which is sad. I think that it would be cool if they did introduce a dark Pokemon with a better chance of one hit carrying EXs when paired with Darkness Energy and and the trainer. What is it? Darkness Claw. But
Yeah.
it's definitely can get extra damage is extra damage. So
Yeah, and like if they have any prior damage, like Darkrai, he will take them down. You know, Darkrai hits for 30, and then 150 is not out of his pretty consistent range.
Yeah,
so
150 is consistent.
150 and 30, that's 180. So
yeah, I guess that could be a little combo that could be happening quite often, but
anyhow, it's good.
Yeah.
Okay. Bad Team Jimu and Sabu. I bet that's not going to be what that card is called in English.
Going under the card, I don't like supporters that flip.
Yeah.
Because there's a 50% chance you just wasted your supporter for the turn.
Yep.
But it's a fact anyway. You flip a coin, and if heads, you choose 3 cards from your opponent's hand without looking. Then look at those cards, return them to your opponent's deck, and shuffle. It's good. It can help to, if your opponent only has a few cards in their hand and then you can manage to hit heads on this, you could possibly just win the game straight off that. So there's the possibility for being able to put your opponent to a 0 or 1 card hand, but it's on a flip, so
yeah,
there's a chance you just wasted your supporter for the turn.
I see this card being like the king of the gimmick decks, like the rage decks, where they just run like every annoying card possible, like this and Amoonguss and Sharpedo, and that's their deck. And
the troll deck would run 4 of these.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean it's just a big gamble. It's on a flip, but can be pretty devastating. There's still better hand disruptors than this guy, even without the flip. So just an annoying gimmick card that you will lose to, but will never work for you. That's how I see this card. Okay, and that's it for supporters. That is the only supporter in this set. Man, that would suck for draft. No draw supporters.
This is the main reason, the fact that there's no supporters being brought out in the black and white set. I mean, no, I don't think there's going to be rotation.
Yeah.
Supporters at all.
Yeah, like there's Juniper.
There's Sharon
and Bianca. I think that's it for draw supporters.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I hope it doesn't get rotated. I like the cards we have now. But anyhow, next up, Twist Mountain, our stadium for this set. What do you think about it? Uh-oh. Go.
So this card is going to mean that fossils can be, I guess, playable. Each player may flip a coin once during their turn. If heads, he or she chooses a revived Pokemon and plays it from his or her hand and puts it to the bench. So it's good. It's still on a flip, so it might need to run some fossils. But it makes fossils a lot more playable. There's no really amazing fossils at the moment. Archeops would have been good last format when there was quite a few stage 1 and stage 2s, but at the moment the only stage 1 seeing a whole lot of play is electric, and then with the darkness decks we might see a few more stage 1s being played, but I don't think it's going to be amazing.
Yeah, this card makes the fossil mirror completely luck based. I don't like it.
Yep.
Yeah. Joking.
I agree.
Yeah, I mean, it gives fossils something, so I'm certainly not going to complain. I think Caracosta is the best fossil of the 3 we have. He's actually really good. Do you remember what he does?
I have no idea.
Okay, well, I think he's got 140 hit points. And then his ability, you flip a coin every time he takes damage, and if you flip heads, it's reduced by 50. And then his attack is Crunch. I think does 80 damage and discards an energy, I believe. I don't know. I played with a really gimmicky Caracosta deck once when they came out, and I won. But yeah, it's got potential. If we get better fossil cards later, it'll be nice to have it around. So
Yeah.
we'll have to wait and see. I'm gonna make the Caracosta deck again once this is out and try it. So
I would have liked to see this stadium, playable back when we had some actual stages on that. But
yeah,
at the moment,
I mean,
Archeops is useless anyway. That's probably my favorite fossil.
I'm guessing we'll get other fossils eventually. They normally, once a couple of them come out, the rest tend to show up along the line somewhere. So maybe next set we'll get like that bug one. What's his name? I forget now.
Mm.
Maybe it's, I don't remember. Anyhow. Okay, we're at the EXs, so let's pick our favorite arts. Entei, regular or full art? Let's go back up here.
I don't understand why this card's background could be Rayquaza's background. It looks a little bit better.
Let's see. Oh, too far. No, not too far. I like the full art one for Entei. Regular art is just kind of ho-hum.
Yeah.
Like with a lot of the regular arts, they do a little nod to that Pokemon's like special powers or whatever, like we saw with Giratina. But Entei doesn't have a whole lot of that going on. I mean, I guess he's got some fire around there, but kind of hard to notice. Okay, next, Raikou.
I think I like the standard. I like the electricity on the right hand side.
Yeah, I don't like the angle they put the full art card at. He's kind of weird, like you're looking down on him. I think
Yeah.
the regular art one is more active, maybe. Just I don't know, something about the full art card strikes me the wrong way. I like the background of it. That's pretty cool, but I don't like the actual Raikou on there. So next, Darkrai.
The normal one, a lot more.
Yeah, I love the normal art one. He looks like the evil Sandman. Like he's got the whatever, like the shadow darkness of the cold of space in his hand, like shoving it down your face, and then there's little trails of Sandman sand coming off of it.
Yeah, awesome.
Yeah, really cool looking card, I think. One of my favorite card arts. Probably my favorite art for this whole set.
I don't like the cards in general, like Zekrom full art and Zekrom EX full art, where they're just black.
Yeah.
With, like a bit of edging. I don't like those sorts of card arts in general.
Yeah, Zekrom is like the worst offender too, because if you ever watch a video of that, it's just impossible to tell which one it is.
Yeah, I know. They're like, I just put down Zekrom EX. Not that he just attacked for 120.
Yeah, it's regular Zekrom. They're both just black cards with a couple of like gold lines.
Yep.
So, all right, how about Tornadus?
It's, think I might like the normal one a little bit more.
Yeah, I agree.
I like the wind going around him and stuff.
I like the cyclone going, and also full art one has crazy eyes. Look at that! Look at those eyes! What is that? Yeah.
His moustache. It's like so random.
All right. Okay, and we've got some shinies. We got shiny Gardevoir. Who knows? Maybe this one will work with Rare Candy on TCGO.
Doubt it. Yeah, I like this one. It's cool. It's kind of got a little levitating.
Yeah, I like this picture. Right. It's very serene. Shiny Archeops.
I don't like it. the picture at least. That's the same as all the other other cards. So I'm just looking at the picture. I don't like
Yeah,
the picture.
yeah. I can't even tell the difference, to be honest,
Yeah.
between this one and the other one. Except this one appears to be made of clay, so give that a pass. Um, and last we have like the big middle finger to everyone who plays the game. It's like, oh, you want a catcher to get rotated out eventually. Well, fuck you, buddy. Here's a golden catcher.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
I can realize it's a patented card ever. So they're just like, yep, we'll make a golden one.
Yeah.
Complete.
What a dick move. All right, and we should talk about Kyogre and Groudon real quick since they are going to be included in the English set. So if you want to hop over to the not Dragon Blade, Hail Blizzard Psycho Drive sets, I think they're in there. Yeah, there's Kyogre. So let me know when you get there.
Yep, I'm there.
Okay, so what do you think about Kyogre?
I like it. It's cool. At the same time, its first attack, it's not a bad thing at all. And its second attack, just two opponents' Pokemon does 50 each of them. Not great. It's 50 to the bench, and Darkrai does 90 in the 30 to the bench, so it's just pretty nothing.
Yeah, Kyogre was kind of unfortunate in that he got released in a set with two really great EXs that damaged the bench. Darkrai and Raikou. So Raikou takes out energy accelerators in one shot, and Kyogre doesn't. So I think that's pretty much all there is to it.
Weak to lightning.
Yeah, weak to lightning and 4 retreat.
Yep.
And he doesn't even have 180 hit points. What the hell is that? Like,
well, I just assumed everything they get like a really low retreat. They gave like hit points as well. So
yeah.
It's like bad attack, bad hit points.
Yeah.
Bad
and then Groudon should be down there ways in the
okay.
Hail Blizzard set. I gotta pull him up. Oh, did I miss him? Wait, where's fighting? Oh, there he is. Okay, what do you think about Groudon?
Its first attack, good. For fighting in a colorless does 20 and then 10 to your opponent's bench, so it's not as bad as Kyogre's. And then second, it does 80 at the time of dealing damage if the opponent's active, as it already has 2 or more damage counters on it, does an additional 40, which is really good. If you can manage to get that prior damage onto him, possibly with its first attack, then you can do 120 for 30, which is
Yeah.
much.
Yeah, it's good. It's fighting type, so that is not hurting it at all. Its first attack is usable, so starting with it is not completely the end of the world. It does have massive retreat, but Darkrai. I still think Terrakion will be the preferred fighting type, though, just because it doesn't give up 2 prizes. And it still one-hit KOs all the lightning types. So, definitely better than Kyogre, and might see some play. We'll have to wait and see.
I mean, we'll see some play like that. Just want to come and try to use it, but I think it's going to be good.
Yeah. So, all right. Well, I guess that is going to do it. So, for anyone who stuck out through all the audio problems and listened to us talk for an hour, thank you very much. Make sure you check out both of our channels. I'll leave a link to Sam's in the description. Go watch his, and we'll have more coming your way shortly. Thanks, guys.
Cool. Thanks, guys.